Hey gang, I just thought the Castles and Crusades crew would appreciate an unboxing of some eBay wins this week. Not everything came in the box. I just put it in the box for ease. Player's Handbook, very nice. Oh, wait a minute. It's a Monsters and Treasure book, very nice. No, wait a minute. It's a player's... I could do this all night. Yeah, all right. This is the win the eBay win I was very pleased with. We've got some really good stuff. Let's see how much room have I got on the video there. 4th edition, third edition, the green. It's all 1st edition. 4th printing of the Player's Handbook. Castle Keeper screens to match, including the Golden Familiar. I believe, now, seeing as how I got into Castles and Crusades with 6th edition, 6th printing, 5th printing. All of my my Castle Keeper screens are the bookend style that are just 2 at a time, and those are nice and useful. But I am so, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. This is some of my very favorite artwork in the entire line. Can look at that. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. That is so awesome. That is some of my very favorite artwork in the entire line right there. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, this is the printouts I got these from DriveThru RPG and used these printouts for the longest time. But the current edition of the Castle Keeper screens, the one with the tribute covers as the artwork, has replaced it for me just because the content is so much more suited to the way I play my game than some of the stuff in here, although I have nothing bad to say about that. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. All right, you know what? I'll figure that out a little later. All right, Tower Adventure inside. Okay, this looks like it's just the, what does that say? Free RPG Day. Yeah, so this would be the either the Cloud Giant's Tower or the Wizard's Tower, and it's a quick start. Oh, I like the way they packaged that with a little tab to make that easy to pull up. 4th Crusade. The 4th Crusade, because it's the 4th printing of the Player's Handbook. Nice. Oh, a little board in there to stiffen it. The Wizard's Tower. Yeah. And then the quick start, that's so nice. That's very cool. All right, put that out of the way over there. Player character reference sheets. You know what? This kind of thing was gold back in the day, right? When you were making characters on notebook paper, in spiral-bound notebooks, character sheets, real legitimate character sheets were gold. Nowadays, with printers everywhere, you know, it's not quite... I mean, it's a cool novelty, but I'm unlikely to use these. I might. And these would be the goldenrod versions of the same thing. Very cool. Classic monsters. That is very pretty. Now I've got so I got into the game with the 5th printing of the Player's Handbook. That was given to me by a friend who said, "This is awesome, you have to try it," and he was right. And so I immediately went and started buying everything I could get my hands on, and have been with the game ever since. And of course, fifth printing and sixth printing is when they went to the color interiors, and all of this stuff is fourth printing, and it's this black and white that looks just so classic. I love the black and white. I love the line art style, and it's so easy to read. I've got all of these books. This is very pretty. My edition of Classic Monsters has seen quite a lot more wear than this one has. First printing of the Castle Keeper's Guide, right? Yes, yeah, I believe this is. Again, oh my gosh, this is so good. My edition of this, and I've got this printing already, but my edition has seen so much more wear than this one has. That's very, very cool. Of Gods and Monsters, and this is a paperback. Now I've got a paperback of this already, and this is one of the more useful books that I've seen. I know it's been replaced by Gods and Legends, and that's got some good stuff in it too, but for my money, they're just they're both different books, and I've gotten a lot of use out of this book, and not as much out of Gods and Legends. Also, the write-ups for the gods in Gods and Legends are, or seem to be, let's say, more abbreviated than in this one, and I really like this one. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is a hardcover of Gods and Monsters. I'm scared to take this out of the wrapper. This is crazy. I knew this was in here, but man, seeing it, this is the only one of the green and gold line that I don't have in hardcover that was produced in hardcover. That's awesome. Monsters and Treasure in paperback. Very nice. I love this printing. This, I believe, this is still digitally for free on the Troll Lord site. That classic black and white that just looks like all of the games that I used to play back in the day, back in the 80s. A hardcover version of Monsters and Treasure. Once again, this one is in much better condition than the one I've got, which has seen quite a lot of table time. And just such a good book, such a useful book. And I know people look at this and think, oh, that's tiny, right? That's tiny. But it's not. This has everything I need in it. And I know that the current printing, the fifth printing, is like 3 times the size. It's huge. It's so big, it actually makes it harder for me to find things in it. And I find myself going back to my third printing of those. Paperback Player's Handbook, softcover player. Oh, look at that. That's very cool. My hardcover doesn't have that in it. The Fourth Crusade. Oh, man. That is so cool. What have we got going? Oh, that's a blank page. Oh my gosh, that's a full color page. My hardcover doesn't have this. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is so beautiful. The the old AD&D books that got me started did this, and I was just so, I loved those. And then Palladium did this in their Rift. When they did Rifts, they did that, and I loved that presentation. And again, the black and white printing makes it so much easier to read. Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. I was considering putting this on the shelf or maybe gifting it to a new player, but yeah, I think I might be keeping this just because this is, oh my goodness, this is so cool. This is so beautiful. Look at that. I've seen all of these artworks before. I feel like they have all been used as cover art. That one is definitely the cover art for one of the C series, C2 or C3, Upon the Powder River, I think. So beautiful. Oh my goodness, that is so great. Oh look, it's my party. So this is, let's see, 5th edition did this as well, where the classes up front were organized by attribute. So you have fighter, ranger, which are strength, rogue, and assassin, which are dexterity. Barbarian and monk are both constitution. Wizard and illusionist, intelligence, druid, cleric and druid were wisdom, and knight and paladin were charisma, organized by primes. And then the bard, I believe, is also charisma. Organized by primes, and just we live in such a world where you feel like things just have to be so regimented, and having alternate organizations, shall we say, where you feel it lends much more to a feeling of exploration in these books rather than just assimilating them for information. And I love that about the Castles and Crusades stuff. Using scrolls, casting spells. This just has everything you need, and it's barely 140 pages. Again, I know the current edition is, I think it's a little over 200, 228, 256, something like that. And of course, it's a full color, beautiful layout, and there's more stuff in here, more. But this has everything you need in it. And at the bottom, there's another hardcover player's handbook. Again, you know, that paperback had those full color inserts. I don't remember my hardcover having those. And indeed, it looks like this one does not. And is this just packing material? Is this an invoice? What do we have going on here? Yeah, that's my invoice in there, and some cardboard for spacing. That is so beautiful. That is so nice. Player's handbook, monsters and treasure, gods and monsters. Look at that. I've gotten so much use out of this book. And the Castle Keeper's Guide. This 3rd edition Castle Keeper's Guide has seen so much playtime, so much reading time. That's the point. I know that's not an opinion often heard, but the point of any book, even a game book, is for it to be read. And I have spent so much time reading this book for ideas and inspiration, and just advice on how to make things a little bit more smooth, and how to present the worlds with a little more consistency and everything, you know, and implementing some of these options in here. The mass combat, we've used these mass combat rules, started out using these instead of fields of battle, which I haven't gotten to use yet. We haven't gotten the characters into a large enough situation where they're leading giant regiments like that. Some more stuff on handling monsters, just so good. Running the game, using the siege engine. One of the sleekest game mechanisms in the industry, I think. Some good advice on treasure. There's a critical hit table in here somewhere, which I printed out and torture my players with. Conditions of gems, I love doing that. You know, is it flawed? Is it cut? Has it got a pattern? That's one of those things that makes it in my notes and has never seemed to make it at the table. I mention it, I don't think anybody really cares. They're just interested in the gems and the value, total value, combat, and skills. One of the things in here I've gotten more use out of than anything else, just past the skill packages here, which I found very handy. We don't do skill packages or anything. I just use the siege engine, and my players just use class, class actions. The wizard, my wizard is always, he's always trying to decipher a spell or decipher magic. I'm like, okay, well, that's a spellcraft check. That's just a class, that's a class action for you. You get your class skill. Get your class bonus. Okay, so advantages, awarding advantages. I beefed up my characters because they like to customize them. So the advantages in the book, I allowed them, there's a progression here, but what I did was I allowed them one advantage every time they go up a level. They get to pick something from the from the list, and I have a small list of other things that they get to choose from. They get to pick something from the list to add to their character, and they have the option of spending XP. You can spend 500 XP once per level to purchase another advantage. And some of the players have done that, and some of them have not. So useful. Gotten a lot of use out of this. And of course, classic monsters, which doesn't mean classic D&D. This is Greco-Roman and all of those guys. That artwork gets adapted. He becomes a lion man for the Beneath the Silence cover. This is so good. I don't remember these giant splash pages in my copy of this. I'm gonna have to compare them now, but I'm not gonna make y'all suffer through me going and digging out my books and doing a side-by-side comparison. I just wanted to share a blast from the past of classic Troll Lord CNC product. This primer, that's so neat. I love this. I love this artwork. Golly, I'm going to have to. I wonder if I even can. I wonder. Look at that. Look at that in miniature. I wonder if I can have this framed and mounted. That would be, oh, that's interesting. I thought that looked a little odd. This cover is, it's okay. It's just swapped. It's just swapped, facing a different direction. That's fine. But anyway, thank you for spending a little time with me. And I didn't do my book talk intro. I was so excited to do this. But thank you for joining me for book talk, and stay tuned to the channel because there's more book talk yet to come.